Welcome back, and we're still on the sectional plate. Now we want to create a haunch here. So prior to creating a haunch there, on the sectional view, I'll come to plate, pick on the sectional plate, right click. Then I'll just mouse over the edge of this of the plate we had created previously, and just mouse over that spot. Then enter on my keyboard right, like that. And we want to give an offset from the edge by maybe 30. That will be okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just type dy. Dy means in the direction of y, and I'm going to feed in the 30 millimeter here, then enter my keyboard. So let's see, I'm moving off this the edge by 30. Then I want just to mouse over the corner here, and I don't click, just enter. So once I've entered that, I'm going to now type a dx. Dx means we want to move in the direction of x, like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed in a particular distance that I deem fit for that, for the size of my haunch. So here I'm going to type in maybe 600 will be okay. And if I enter that, I'll be able to see I have a plate here. So in that plate, in that order, I'll be able to just right click and right click once again, and I'll pick this and I want to rotate that and see what I'm actually having in the 3D view. So if I press Control D, Alt D, I'll be able to see, I'll be able to move to a better view that I'll be able to see clearly whatever I have done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the width of this plate to match the size of my beam. So I'm going to double click on it. So the moment I double click on it, I'll be able to change the width here to 150. So if I can drag that aside and click apply, I'll be able to see I have changed that to 150. And maybe thickness we need to change also. Initially we had used 10. We can just retain this at 10 millimeter and click apply and give it an OK. And let's switch back to our sectional view. So I'll just go ahead and then click on the 0 here, and we are back to 0. And maybe you can change the draw mode by pressing Alt D repeatedly, so we are back where we are. So we want to create a plate inside this hole here. I'll come back to plate. And now I'll use this plate. I'll create a plate between this by contour method, by snapping on those spots here and snapping on that corner right there, and snapping on the edge here, and come here and close the loop here. So the moment I close the loop, I'll have a plate in place. So if you want to confirm that, always select any part of your interest, any part of your interest in the model, then right click and move your mouse, and you'll be able to see we have a plate. But if you can't see everything clearly, you press Alt D until you see until you have a better draw mode in place. So you can see we have a plate inside. So we want to create some haunches here and maybe weld these components together to the beam, and maybe bolt this assembly to the column. Now let's go back and try reset lookup by pressing that angle or that 0, and maybe we go ahead and press Alt D to take us back to where we were. I'll select the plate or the edge of the plate, and since we can't see it clearly, we'll press Alt D until we see it clearly. So we can always come here and maybe we go back where we have a sectional view and press Alt D like that, and I'll pick the corners and pick on the chamfer. Just mouse over there and we have chamfers right there. And what chamfer do we want? You want that one. That, and maybe we can feed 30-30 will be okay. 30-30 and click apply and give it an OK, and apply that and close. So we can always come here and apply the same thing here. So if you can't see, always come here, use Alt D until you see the better draw mode, and select the part you want to chamfer and apply the chamfer sizes there and click apply. and do the same thing here and apply the chamfer right there and click apply. So we have that in place already done. So if we switch back and to sectional view, we'll have that in place. Now let's switch to, let's press Alt D, not Control D, and we'll have a draw mode of a sectional view. So it will be just always ideal or important to weld this, to create a weld in between these two in between these 2 points, or we can create a bolted connection. So the bolted connection, you can always come to view and maybe shift that to place our plane tool on that spot, and we start placement of our bolts. We come to steel and pick the bolt group, and you pick that column and this plate, and we want to create a bolt between these. Not much details, but just a simple way of doing things. So we have bolt in place. So I can double click on the bolt and come here and come to positions, and maybe I want several of these bolts. Maybe I need maybe 4 of them or 3, and add the asterisk there and click apply. So we'll have these bolts, several of them. Maybe I need 6 of them right there. Click apply. So we'll have the bolts in place. So that's a simple way. So I've just showed you how to create a bolt here, and maybe you want to weld this to that member. You can always come to auto weld. Pick on auto weld and pick 2 components. I want to weld this to that, and I've created a weld, and I want to weld this to that, and I've created welding, and I want to weld that to that. So to confirm the assembly, always I've not welded that. Let me just go back and create a weld between that and that. So we've created a welding joint, and we've created a bolt, and we've created a sectional plate. So I want to confirm whether this is an assembly, because we've created a weld between the plate and the beam. And let me confirm that by selecting this and show assembly. You can see assembly has, this is an assembly, so you can always right click and show only selected, and we have this in place. This is the assembly, and we've created this by using sectional plate, viewing the plate from an elevation and from a 2D view, because we selected 2 points to view the location of our point where we intend to create a sectional plate, or we want to apply a sectional plate. So that's how you handle a sectional plate. I think you've gotten the concept on how you can apply the bolts, though on the bolt section we'll move into details as the topics goes to advanced stages. But this just to let you get you started with Comosys, which is very easy. Remember, Comosys is not only a detailing software; it's also structural analysis. It's all in one, not like other computer aided programs. Now that's for the sectional plate creation, and let's meet then on a different topic. Bye bye, and hope you try this by yourself, and I'll be happy if you will be able to manage that.